According to the FHA, 75% of weather-related vehicle accidents occur on wet pavement, and many of them are due to hydroplaning, a phenomenon that happens when your car's tires actually lose contact with the wet road and begin sliding on a thin layer of water, making it nearly impossible to control. And unfortunately, it doesn't take much water for it to happen. A driver in an SUV approaches an exit just after a light rainfall. Even though there are obvious puddles on the shoulder, the lane itself appears clear, but there seems to be just enough water to affect the vehicle's traction, causing it to spin off into the grass. And finally, land on its side. Amazingly, the driver seems relatively unharmed and takes a minute to collect himself as bystanders who witnessed the crash approach to check on him.
Yep, I'm all right. Just gotta figure out how to get out now.
All things considered, it could have been much worse. And it serves as a great reminder to keep your tires well maintained and always proceed with extra caution when driving in any kind of wet conditions. In Austin, Texas, a motorist with a dash cam is waved on by a dump truck driver who may be having some trouble. The car's driver continues down a long, curving hill to a stoplight. The intersection is busy, making it a bit more challenging for cars in the far right lane to make the turn on red. Which is very bad news for the driver in this gray sedan. Disaster strikes. The dump truck from earlier plows into a gray sedan, pushes it through the intersection, hits several other vehicles, and then punches through a concrete barrier before finally plummeting more than 15 feet and landing on its side in a ravine. Thankfully, Good Samaritans are able to pull the driver out before his truck catches fire. Emergency personnel arrive on the scene. The driver of the gray sedan is reportedly treated for concussion. The 19-year-old driver of a red car that was T-boned reportedly incurs a spinal injury. None of the motorists, including the trucker, sustained life-threatening injuries. Investigators later determined brake failure as the cause of the multi-car collision. As bad as this situation was, considering the extent of the damage and the number of vehicles involved, everyone is lucky it wasn't much, much worse. Locking your doors while driving is usually a good move, just in case something
Step out your car!
unexpected comes up.
Get out of here! Yo, bitch!
But there are times when it can be a serious problem.
Oh, he's asleep. Shot is sleep. Hold on. Bro, sleep on the wheel.
A man driving on a busy highway in Atlanta seems to be asleep at the wheel.
You gotta pull over, bro. Sleep. Pull over.
Several people have pulled over to help, but he's not responding, and his doors are locked.
I'm gonna go help. Come on.
So they grab anything they can to break the windows.
They breaking, bro, windows. Oh my God, y'all.
Which it turns out is surprisingly hard to do. All the commotion does seem to snap the man too. But something is still not right.
Wait.
So they get back to work.
I just tried to hit me.
But the truck's laminated side windows continue to resist their blows. The rear window, however, is most likely made of tempered glass, which could break more easily. Finally, they break through and gain access.
Turn off the car.
The driver is still clearly disoriented.
You don't know what's going on. Did somebody call 911?
The Good Samaritans stay with the man until the paramedics arrive shortly after.
Just save your life, boy.
It turns out the man had suffered a seizure while driving. He's brought to the hospital, where his condition improves, thanks in part to all those who stopped and didn't give up until they broke through. In California, according to Regina Jones, the woman who's filming, the car ahead has been causing some concern.
I'm in the car with my husband and my daughter, and we see this car in front of us driving erratically. My husband said, hey, start recording this, because we could feel that something was gonna happen.
And just moments later, it turns out their intuition is spot on.
They're going through. Go ahead and bang.
You gotta get out and help him. We gotta get help him.
Already.
Get out and help him.
Told
Hey,
you
come
already.
on, we gotta get out and help him. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911.
The car slams into the wall of the tunnel, flipping end over end.
Everything just went like blank for a minute.
The crashed car now lies on its side, and Regina's family doesn't know how many people are inside
Go help him, baby.
or what condition they're in. So Regina's husband goes in for a closer look. And when he returns moments later,
They're alive.
You hear him?
Alive, yeah, screaming.
You guys should try and push the car over and get him out. He's trying to get out.
Right away, we hear this guy, he's trying to push his way out of the top of the car.
which prompts Regina and her family and other Good Samaritans to do whatever they can to free the man. The driver is finally pulled out of the wreck through the windshield.
We got him out. They got him out.
Others attempt to free the passenger, who Regina believes is the driver's father, from the rear of the vehicle.
They can't get the dad out. The dad is still in there. Come on.
A short while later, authorities arrive to take it from there. And according to Regina, they're able to get both occupants of the car to the hospital.
Ooh,
terrible.
According to the case summary, the driver is ultimately convicted of driving under the influence.
Go ahead and fail.
He is sentenced to 3 years of probation and 3 months of alcohol and other drug education and counseling. And though a harrowing example of how impaired driving has tremendous repercussions, not just for the driver, but everyone in the vicinity.
They can't get the dad out. The dad is still in there.
Regina tries to remain focused on the silver lining.
So many people just came together to just try and help this guy get out of his car. I cry a tear because I just thank God that they were okay.
On a California freeway, a motorist records a semi dragging a red car that is wedged under its trailer.
Look at that. That's on the freeway going up the Cajon Pass. I don't know what's going on here.
Making the situation even more dire.
Oh my God.
The driver's life is clearly in danger, so the man filming, along with several other motorists, join forces to flag down the semi-driver.
The hell?
Which they finally do.
Wow. He drugged the guy. Why were you driving so far? Dude, the guy's in your car.
I didn't know it.
What do you need to know it, dude? He's on your truck. You need to get out of your truck right now. He's literally on your truck.
According to police reports, the incident occurred when the 62-year-old trucker failed to see the red car when he changed lanes and had no idea he had hit it. He is eventually cleared of any wrongdoing. The driver of the red car sustains no injuries. Lesson learned, hopefully for both parties. When big rigs and cars are sharing the road, keep your eyes on the blind spots. Motorcyclist Daniel Bond is enjoying an afternoon ride on the rural roads of Groveport, Ohio, with his friend, who was captured riding behind him by a camera that's attached to Daniel's handlebars. But a short while into their trip, Daniel's friend runs into some trouble, which Daniel quickly notices.
As I went around a nice, sharp 15-mile-per-hour hairpin corner, I looked behind me and noticed my friend was gone. So I went ahead and turned around in a driveway and started heading back towards him.
Side note, this car in the distance will soon play a crucial role in this story.
As I'm heading back, I see him back on his bike heading back towards me. At this point, I'm like, okay, time to turn around again.
But as he slows down, the car we saw earlier doesn't. As Daniel prepares to turn around in a driveway, the car from earlier does not appear to notice Daniel slowing down and barrels into him from behind.
I was completely oblivious to it being behind me, unfortunately. Didn't hear a thing. He didn't even hit the brakes until after he hit me. I couldn't believe what just happened. Like, it felt like I was in a dream for a moment. The adrenaline was going. I was so mad, I just jumped straight up.
What the?
But when Daniel confronts the driver, he doesn't get the response he is expecting.
What the, bro?
I walked over there to his car, like, what's going on? For real? what the hell just happened. He goes like this, sorry. And that was it.
What the hell? You just ran me the over! What the sorry? You just ran my ass over!
But Daniel is about to have a bigger fish to fry than the driver's apparent lack of remorse. He has broken his leg.
I'd say I went into shock about a minute and a half after it all happened. I was losing my vision, everything going white, getting numb and tingly all over, like pins and needles over my whole body, and my leg was completely cramping around that broken bone. It locked up harder than a rock.
The people who live in the house by the crash site see everything and call the paramedics, who arrive shortly afterwards. Daniel is rushed to a nearby hospital where he's treated for fractures to his fibula and elbow, in addition to road rash on his elbows and back. As for the distracted driver, according to Daniel, he's issued a ticket for an assured clear distance violation.
And they marked him down on the ticket as he was only doing 45 miles an hour.
Meanwhile, this experience has brought Daniel a fresh perspective.
It did change my outlook on life a bit. At any given moment, anything could happen. Like, you could just be driving down the road, minding your own business, and you're gone. It could happen.
What the hell? You just ran me the over!
According to the National Safety Council, the second highest cause of preventable injury-related death in the United States is a motor vehicle accident. The first highest cause is dying from a drug overdose. And one evening on a Tennessee highway, Sarah Swain suspects she is suddenly faced with both of these terrifying statistics, as she and a friend spot an erratic driver.
They're literally riding in two lanes.
And for Sarah, there's something about the way this particular vehicle is moving that sets off specific alarm bells.
It was about 6 o'clock in the evening, so I was like, that's not somebody drunk driving. And watching further, it wasn't a texting and driving because it was so ongoing and so consistent. So I knew something was wrong. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You got that right? Yeah.
After the close call, they follow the vehicle as it exits the highway. And when the car suddenly stops in the middle of the off-ramp,
No, leave him there.
though there's no way to be sure, Sarah believes the driver may be under the influence of something.
So we need to call 911. I'm just gonna call 911. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do have addicts in my family, so the overdose situation was not completely new to me, but while being on the road, that was a bit overwhelming.
Sarah calls 911 as she walks to the stopped vehicle.
Sarah, you need to be careful. By the time I approached the vehicle, he was already unconscious behind the wheel with the car still on. Initially, I think I was a little bit more angered and annoyed. As a single mother at the time, all I could think about was if my kids were in the car and we were on the way home from school or daycare or whatever. I couldn't imagine.
Is there kids in the car? Is there kids in the car?
There is a large bag in the car. I noticed a very large bag of powdered substance and a prescription pill bottle.
Early 20s. It was like a gray, it's a Honda.
Accord.
With the driver still seemingly unconscious, Sarah stays on the line with 911, hoping it's not too late.
He's passed out 3 times now, sir. I'm scared that he's gonna die. Can you please get an ambulance here?
Suddenly, the driver regains consciousness.
Hey. Okay, he's breathing. Yeah. He's out of it. I mean, he's breathing, but he is out of it. Like, he's not even registering what's going on right now. Like, he needs help.
I was a tech at the hospital downtown Nashville for a little bit, about 6 months. So I did go through some training and knew a little bit about that.
If he doesn't get Narcan, he's gonna.
It's in his hand. Is it Narcan? No.
No, he is not. Do you have Narcan in your car?
Thanks to her training, Sarah knows that some drug users keep the opiate blocker Narcan on hand in the event of an overdose.
Do you have Narcan in your glove compartment?
Yeah.
I think that I had a miraculous mixture of everything to handle what I was thrown into that day.
Check the center console. But be careful for weapons, needles.
The search yields nothing, but fortunately,
They're right here.
emergency services arrive moments later.
After the police finally arrived and medics started helping him, I completely broke down. It's a lot to see someone in that state, whether it's a stranger or someone that you know.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
According to Sarah, the driver is taken to the hospital for treatment and ends up facing no charges.
It looks like they're passed out.
And while her actions may have saved his life,
There is a large bag.
Sarah remains humble about what she did that day.
I don't think it's heroic at all. I think it's common human decency. He's still a human and deserves compassion. If I can stop and help in any way, why wouldn't I?
I mean, he's breathing, but he is out of it. Like, he's not even registering what's going on right now.
In South Australia, a motorcyclist rides through an intersection and appears to trigger a speeding camera.
That's 60. We're lucky I got that on camera, right?
The biker believes that he wasn't breaking the speed limit, so he returns to the same stretch of road the next day to see if going the same speed triggers the camera again.
Yesterday, these lights flashed twice when I went through them, and I can only assume that they were flashing at me.
And though the driving conditions are much less ideal,
It's horrible, man. I'm just glad the visor's not fucking up right now. This is so bad. I can't see.
as he approaches the intersection with the camera, he decides to do the test anyway.
Right, so I'll go at 4,000 revs in 6th gear again, straight through here. I'll see what happens.
A driver coming in the opposite direction makes a right turn directly into the biker, knocking him over the handlebars and onto the pavement. In a stroke of luck, the first person to respond is ideally qualified to help.
Lie down. It's okay, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Can you turn? Are you hurt anywhere?
Whoa.
Perhaps even more fortunate, an ambulance just happens to be stopped at the same intersection.
Hi guys, how you going?
Yeah, right.
Though the man sustains only minor injuries, his bike is totaled. According to the biker, responding officers use his footage to clear him of any wrongdoing and charge the driver with failure to give way.
Yeah.
But regardless of who's at fault, the takeaway is clear.
Have a look at you.
Driving defensively for all motorists in all
I'll
situations
see what happens.
is always a good idea.